Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking through my February TBR. It is the middle of February, however, so because this is a little bit late, I'll probably incorporate a little mini reading vlog as well. So I'm just going to go straight into it because, like I said, this is late, so let's not dilly-dally. The first book I'm going to talk about is The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. So on my Instagram I did post a picture of my February TBR, and I did on my TikTok as well, and it did not include this book. It included Better Than the Movies by the same author, but I changed it because I did not know this one is centered around Valentine's Day, which is perfect for February, so I changed it. So it's actually kind of a good thing that I'm filming this late, because now you know the true TBR, and Better Than the Movies is now The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. Yeah, so this centers around Valentine's Day. This girl wakes up to find she's reliving Valentine's Day again, and she has to keep reliving it, and it wasn't a very good Valentine's Day, so that's not fun. She basically, I believe, yeah, her boyfriend Josh, so her name is Emily, and her boyfriend Josh cheated on her on Valentine's Day, so she wants to wake up, obviously not being Valentine's Day anymore, kind of like the worst Valentine's Day ever. And then she keeps reliving it as well, so she's not having a good time. But on this particular Valentine's Day, she ran into this guy called Nick, and so each day she gets a redo with this Nick, and it's a second chance romance. It's a do-over, like things keep being redone, and I've been so excited to try Lynn Painter book, so I'm pretty excited for this. I am currently reading, the book I'll talk about next is the one I'm currently reading, which might run a bit over Valentine's Day, because Valentine's Day is in 4 days, so I might be reading this a little bit after Valentine's Day, but it'll still be February, and I'll still find it fun and fitting in with the monthly theme. So anyway, yes, if I enjoy this, then I will go back to putting Better Than the Movies on my TBR, but for now it's The Do-Over. So that's that. I'm gonna try not to take too long with these, but I did want to just explain that one because I changed it from the original Lynn Painter book that was on my TBR. Anyway, the book that I am currently reading, The Institute by Stephen King. I have not read many Stephen King. I've read a couple. I've enjoyed all of the ones I've read, pretty much all 3 stars or higher. And I've been really excited to read this one because someone I follow on TikTok who reads like all Stephen King books, they have so many. This is like their favorite. I think it's their top favorite or one of their favorites, and I trust their opinion because of their love for Stephen King. And it's more like a sci-fi than a horror I've seen, which I really want to try sci-fi this year as well, so I have gravitated toward this one as my next Stephen King. So far I'm only about 22 pages in, so not very far, but it is good. It's the writing is captivating. We're following this guy called Tim. He's like basically hitchhiking his way through towns. He's now stopped at this town that I can't remember the name of. Either way, he's there, and he's just got a job as a night knocker. I'm not 100% what that is, but that's what he's got a job as. That's what I'm at, but I know that it starts to go into the plot of this place called The Institute, basically where kidnapped children get taken, and it turns into kind of a sci-fi novel, because I believe some of the children, or one in particular, has some kind of like powers, I guess, or is like really smart. Gifted is the word I guess you would use, and that's where it takes the sci-fi turn, and I've seen people describe it as like Stranger Things-esque kind of, so I think it's gonna be good. I am really excited for it, and the writing so far is captivating. Like, I'm picking it up, I'm excited to pick it up, and I can't wait to see how it goes. So that's The Institute. And then we have Move Like Water by Hannah Stell. This is a signed edition, which is cool, and I didn't know of this book. I just saw it in my local independent bookshop and thought it looked really cool because I love anything to do with like marine life and the oceans. Basically, it's a non-fiction novel. She writes about her love for the ocean and all the creatures. She talks about like specific creatures that she's met along her way. I believe she's like a marine biologist or along those lines, I guess, unless she just really likes the sea. Either way, yeah, she has a degree in marine biology and she sails on her own boat. So anyway, she tells all these different things that she's like seen on her travels on the ocean, talks about specific creatures, talks about how we've affected the ecosystems, and basically, yeah, it's just like travel writing of the ocean, and I love the ocean, so I'm really excited to read it. And with that in mind, I just remembered, guys. Okay, wait. I received an offer for my top choice uni starting September 25. I'm so excited. So I did accept it because it's my top choice. And I'm going to be going to University of Sheffield for a master's in biodiversity and conservation, and I am so excited. So this is like a little setup for that as well. I can't believe it. I got the offer last week now, like last Thursday, Friday, and I still can't believe it. I can't believe it, and I'm so excited. Anyway, Beast and Beauty, Dangerous Tales by Soman Chinani. I've read the first book in the School of Good and Evil series by him, and I really, really loved it. I loved the writing. I read it really quickly because I just did not want to put it down, so I feel like his writing will be really good in this as well. This is like some short stories based on different fairy tales. It's illustrated as well, so that's fun. Wrong one. There. It's all different short stories. It basically retells a lot of the stories we know in dark and mysterious ways. And you know, I love a retelling, so I think this is gonna be really fun. I can't really say much about it because that's all I know is like their retellings told in like a mysterious, dark way, full of like magic and rebellious hearts is what it says on the back. Either way, I think it's gonna be really good. I'm very excited for this. I feel like it could be a quick read as well because they're short stories. It'd be quick and snappy, and the writing's quite big as well, like big text. So I think it's gonna be good. And then we have Bookshots and Bone Dust by Travis Baldree. I absolutely loved Legends and Lattes when I read it, so I'm just so excited for this. It's not a sequel, it's a prequel, and I believe it tells of, yeah, Viv's time, like before she went and owned a coffee shop. Yes, so it's set 20 years before Legends and Lattes, so we follow Viv, who was in this one, and she's been wounded in one of her adventures, so she goes to like get better in this little cozy town. I guess it's a cozy town because it's a cozy fantasy. And yeah, so she spends hours at a struggling bookshop in the company of its foul-mouthed proprietor. There's a suspicious traveller in grey, a gnome with a chip on her shoulder, a summer fling, and an improbable number of skeletons prove Merc to be more eventful than Viv could have ever expected. And I think it's gonna be really good. I really liked Viv in Legends and Lattes, so I'm excited to see I'm excited to see more of her, and also I love that it's going to be set in like a little cozy bookshop. I think that's going to be really fun, and I really liked Travis Baldree's writing, so I'm so excited to finally read this prequel. Like literally, I cannot explain how excited I actually am to finally read this prequel, especially, you know, when like you really want to read a book and then when you're holding it, it reminds you how much you really want to read it. Like, I really want to read it. Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. I'm so excited for this book. I have only read Normal People by Sally Rooney, but I absolutely loved it. I do own all of her other books. I just haven't read them yet. I even pre-ordered Beautiful World Where Are You with exclusive edges, but I still haven't read it. I think because I've just been scared that nothing's going to live up to Normal People, which I absolutely loved, and I am a little bit scared that things won't, but this is getting a lot of high praise, so I'm feeling like, I feel like it's going to be good, and I feel like it's time to delve further into her works, and the reason I'm going to start with her newest one, like I said, is getting a lot of high praise, and also I know there's like a little bit of chess to do with it, and I love chess. Little random hobby drop. I love chess. Do you want to see my chessboard? It's a really cool one. Anyway, yeah, basically you follow these two brothers. Their father has just passed, so you follow them in their grieving and them getting through their lives. One is struggling with his relationship with two women. Another one is a competitive chess player, and then you follow him being a woman as well, and it's just like following their lives. It's definitely a lot more complex than that, but that's all I know, and I'm so excited for this. Like I said, I feel like the reason I haven't read any more Sally Rooney is because I've generally been scared. But this one is getting so many good reviews that I think I can go into this one, and then once I've read this one, I feel like I'll be ready to read Conversations with Friends and Beautiful World War You. And I know there's like a mini book. That's the one I don't have. There's like a mini short story. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, my chess. I'll show you my chess. This is my handcrafted chess set from Jack's London. I don't really get this out. I play mostly online because no one around me likes chess, but it's still really fun and cool to have and own. Basically, like, you folds out and you get these pieces, and then you take them out and you set up your board and you play chess. But yeah, I can't get it back in. Anyway, that went a bit off topic, but that's my chessboard, in case anyone wanted to see it. I wanted to show you. You see it's got the Jack's London logo on it. That's my chessboard. So anyway, I feel like, I don't know if the chess part is going to be a major part of the book, but that is kind of why I'm drawn to it as well. Anyway, next one. Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. My voice went funny. Me and Earl and the Dying Girl by Jessie Andrews. I saw this film years ago, got the book years ago, still haven't read it, but it's on the banned list for some reason. I don't know why, and I'm going to be trying to read like banned books, so I picked this one up. I think it's going to be good. Basically, there's this girl, and yeah, she is dying of, I believe it's a cancer, I can't remember what one. So you follow this guy called Greg, and he wants to just get through senior year, staying on the low, not drawing any major attention to himself. He's a film student, he makes films with his friend, but then his mum gets him to befriend a girl with cancer, and things start to turn because then they start doing things together, and it's just a typical YA contemporary novel. You follow them with that kind of plot line, and I did really like the movie, so I hope that the book's going to be good too. And then we have Heaven is for Real by Todd Burpo. Again, I watched the movie years ago, loved it, got the book years ago, didn't read it. So I'm now going to try and read it. This is a long TBR, I know, I'm not going to get through all of these, but I just didn't know what ones I was feeling, and now we're in mid-February and I'm only just reading The Institute, only just reading one of them. I don't know what to tell you. You know what? I'm just optimistic for myself, and that's a good thing. You can't do it if you don't already believe you can do it. So, make those long TBRs. Anyway, yes, saw the film years ago, loved it. They basically, this little boy gets sick, and they're a Christian family, so they start doing all these prayers for him and everything, and it ends up being like a miracle that he survives. But when he comes back from his surgery, where he basically like died from it and come back, he comes out of his surgery and basically starts to say things that he shouldn't know, and then he says that he met Jesus and God and angels, and he starts to question his parents about his sister. This is a sister who was never born. This was a miscarriage that the mother had, and they had never told him about, so they're a bit like, what? And then he talks about like different Bible stories that they hadn't told him about yet, and that's it. It's just like a memoir told by the father of the child that went through that. And again, I'm trying to read more non-fiction, so that's why that one's on there too, and also because I really like the film, so I would really like to finally read the book, as I am trying to finish my physical TBR. And the next book on my TBR is A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini. I read The Kite Runner by this author a couple years ago, 2-3 years ago now, I don't know. Either way, I really enjoyed it. It was very sad, it was very traumatic, but it was such a good book, like so well written, and I've seen some really good reviews for this one, so I'm really excited to read it. I do own And the Mountains Echoed. Is that what the other one I'm thinking of is called? It's not written here because this is an edition that was published before that one, but either way, I chose this one because I've seen some really good reviews for it recently, and I'm really excited to dive back into this author's writing, and everything he thinks up is so important, so interesting, so well written, so well fleshed out. You just literally feel so drawn in, and I'm so excited to just be that delved into a book again. It's really good. So this is set in Afghanistan. You follow, at first there's this girl called Mariam. She's about 15, and she gets sent to Kabul to marry this guy who's about 30 years older than her, and then several years later, nearly 2 decades later, not several years, 2 decades later, you have this girl called Layla who is 15, and she gets sent to live with Mariam and the husband. So they form this like friendship, this bond. You follow them getting to know each other while also living in this family that isn't, what either would have planned. And at the same time, they're living in Kabul, where the Taliban are in charge of Afghanistan. So there's like bombs and guns and all this stuff happening on the street. So they're navigating around that while also navigating this newfound family. I think it's gonna be sad and traumatic, but I think it's gonna be like so well written, and it's gonna be a beautiful story at the same time. And I think that there'll be these small moments of love and friendship that just give it a little bit of light between the cracks, and I think the story itself is gonna be absolutely wonderful, and I can't wait. I genuinely really want to get back into his writing because, like I said, The Kite Runner was told so well. So that's that one. And then we have On the Come Up. This was on my January TBR. Wait, I feel like this was as well, because I was just talking about that, and I know that I've talked about that before. Was this on my January TBR? I don't know. I know this one was. Maybe this one wasn't. Oh, and this one as well. Yes, because I carried a couple over from my January TBR that I didn't get to. And The Last Bear as well, which I recently finished, was from January, but I finished it in February, which was good. The Last Bear was good. I really want to read the next one, which is Finding Bear. They're by Hannah Gold, and I know she has one called like The Lost Whale, The Last Whale, and one about a turtle as well. So I really enjoyed those. They're like to do with like climate change, and you follow a specific animal and an adventure to do with the animal in today's changing climate, and they're really good. You should check them out. They are children's stories, but they're so important for today, and I feel like anyone should read them. Anyway, that's what I just finished. As I was saying, On the Come Up from my January TBR, you basically follow this young girl called Brie who wants to be a rapper, but at the same time, like, she's called trouble at school, and she's kind of like unsure whether all her dreams will become a reality. But then when her mum loses her job and they start to like go into poverty, struggle to put food on the table, she realizes that following her dream of becoming a rapper is now like a necessity because someone needs to start bringing money into the house. So she really strives to go for it, and it follows her on that journey. And I love Angie Thomas's writing. I absolutely loved The Hate U Give, loved Concrete Rose. I think, are they the only two I've read? They're connected, those two. But I think they're the only ones I read, but I absolutely loved both of them. I gave both of them 5 stars, so I'm really excited for this one. I think it'll be good. And then we have, I'll do this one because this was also from my January TBR. This is Aristotle and Dante Dive into the Waters of the World. The first one I absolutely loved, so I'm so excited for the sequel. Basically you follow Ari and Dante. In the first one you follow them getting to know each other, and then in this one, I know there was a bit that scared me. Oh yes, that's the bit that scared me. I remembered when I talked about this in my January TBR video, there was something that scared me. Now I remember what it was. It was the fact that the back says Ari is faced with a shocking loss, and then it says nothing more about Dante. Maybe that's why I didn't gravitate toward this while reading in January. Because at the moment, without reading this book, I've just got the first one in my head, and they're together, and that's the most important thing. Scary, but I love this author's writing, so I think it's gonna be really good either way. Maybe sad, but probably beautifully told, because that was one thing I really loved in the first one. The writing was so good. So scary, but hopefully probably be good. And then the last one I have is Attack on Titan Omnibus 4, volumes 10. Yeah, this will be Omnibus 4. Really enjoying this series, so I'm gonna try and carry on. That's it basically. Basically there's just it's set in like a dystopian world. It's a manga. For anyone that's interested, I am finding this a really good one for starting reading manga. I haven't read any others. I think this is the first one reading. I do have Spy Family, which I want to read, but because I'm in the middle of this one, I'm concentrating on this one at the moment. Which, yeah, this is a manga. So basically this is set in a dystopian world. You have these different groups of people, the main one being like the Survey Corps, who go out and try to kill these things called Titans. These Titans have taken over the world, so the population of people has moved into this thing called the walls. You have the inner walls and the outer walls, and this past that is all these Titans who kill people, and they're like big monster things, and they're kind of creepy. They look like this, and you follow different people who are trying to like stop them, and then there's one point where the walls get like broken into. It's like a big adventure, and it's so fun. It's so good. I love the characters as well. There's like a found family within the characters, which is so fun. I remember when I watched the anime years and years ago, Armin was my favourite. I love it. The reason I've been putting this one off as well is because this is the last one that I own physically. So once I finish this one, I have to wait to read the next one. But because my birthday's coming up in about 2 months really, because my birthday is the 3rd of May, so it's right at the beginning of May, so we'll only count the rest of February and then March and April, and then it's my birthday. So I could possibly get one of these for my birthday, and then that'll be fine. So it'll only be a couple more months to wait, so I feel like I'm ready to finish this one. Each one kind of ends on a cliffhanger as well, so it kind of keeps you motivated to keep picking more up. You can buy them individually, but I like the omnibus editions, which include 3 in one. Anyway, it's really fun. It's really interesting. There's lots of little like subplots as well of like who the Titans are and little like disputes between people, itchy nose. But it's so good and I love it so much. So that is my February TBR. Yeah, like I said, it is like the middle of February, about not quite the middle but almost the middle, and I'm only just starting the institute, so let's just say it's not going particularly well, but I do have a reason for that. I think I'm having like hay fever. Hay fever shouldn't be happening yet. Where is it? I have it here somewhere. It's my mum's birthday next week, and I've been making her a jumper. This is part of it. I don't want to pull the whole thing out, but that's like part of it. It's still attached to the hook. That's a part of it, and that's been taking up most of my spare time, so that's why I've not been reading much. So I really shouldn't have put this many books on my TBR for this month, knowing that I'm going to be doing that for another over a week. Just over a week I'll be finishing that up, and then I'll only have like 10 days left in February to actually read properly without that going on. So I don't know how many I'm going to read, but it's going to be fun. I would really like to get to the do-over because that's set on Valentine's Day, so that's probably what I'm going to read after the institute. But yeah, I don't need to say thank you for watching yet because I'm going to do a little mini reading vlog on the top of this. Oh, I forgot to say, I didn't put any Kindle books on my TBR this month because I really want to work through my physical TBR, and there was a lot of physical books that I'm drawn to this month, whereas I've just finished the Everdark Everdeadly series on my Kindle that I loved, and now I finished that, I kind of don't know what I want to read next on there, so I'm focusing more on my physical reads at the moment. So I didn't end up reading anything last night. I ended up focusing on the jumper, but at the moment that's my main goal, so that's not like that's okay. I am enjoying what I'm reading of this. So I did read some in the day yesterday and I was enjoying it, and it's very interesting, written well. We're now at the part where the Tim who got that job as a night knocker, he's now started his job and he's meeting some like interesting characters in night times while he's working, and there's some like interesting things being said from these people, and I think it's going to be good. So I would really like to get some read today. I'm going to be going out to pick some bits up, but I'll probably read some later when I get back. I'm gonna do some of the jumper before I leave because I only got about 20 minutes before I leave, so I don't want to like sit down and focus on this right now, but then I'll go out. When I come back I'll probably read some of this. I'm reading a little bit of this at the moment. We're now with this kid called Luke, who there's like strange things that happen around him, which I gather is where like the Stranger Things vibes come from, and we're also switching back to Tim's point of view, and they're gonna like connect, I feel like. But it's going well, I'm having fun. Oh yeah, it is Valentine's Day today, like the end of Valentine's Day. I went out for a meal with my family and my nanny because it's my nanny's and granddad's anniversary. They got married on Valentine's Day. My granddad did pass a couple years ago, We still like to like celebrate their anniversary and be with Nanny. And what was I gonna say? Yeah, it's Valentine's Day, and I didn't get to the Lynn Painter The Do-Over Valentine's Day book, but I still really want to read it for February, so when I finish this I will read that next. And I think it'll be good either way, even though I'll be reading it after Valentine's Day now. I won't be reading it for Valentine's Day, but it'll still be the same month, so I really like the cover on this, actually. I'm gonna carry on reading some of this now. Someone is being murdered currently. Whoopsie daisy. It is the 22nd of February. Here's the thing. I didn't finish my mum's jumper, which was going to be her birthday present. Her birthday was on Wednesday, on the 19th. But I'm still going to finish it because, like, I was so close to finishing it. So I'm still going to finish it and give it to her because otherwise it'll be, like, a waste, and I know she'll still appreciate it. Anyway, what I actually want to get to, I know I didn't post my February TBR. Here's the thing, I thought about it, and I had recorded bits of me reading The Institute by Stephen King, and it is also now quite a bit into February, and I was kind of like, do I want to post a TBR this far into the month? Not really. So what I'm doing is I'm now like filming my reading, so like kind of like a monthly vlog kind of thing, except the end of the month with a little bit at the beginning of the month. Didn't really film much during this last week because I've been quite busy. February's just been a really busy month for me. February in general has just been a really busy month for me, so I haven't done as much as I would have liked, but this time I mean it. From March I will go back to posting more frequently. So what I want to do is I want to like smush the TBR part of this video, which you would have seen by this point, with what I actually ended up reading in February. I smushed them into one video because we're nearly at the end of February and I feel like posting just the TBR by itself at this point, like, I just don't really want to do that. I went to Sheffield on Monday to see the uni grounds. I'm so excited. So I did read a little bit of a thriller that I started on my Kindle, but yeah, so it's 9:30 at night. I'm now going to sit down and read more of The Institute. I did read some last night. I'm still not very far through, but I am enjoying what I'm reading. We're learning more about The Institute. We've got some new kids coming in, and we're following our main character, Luke. And he's just had his shots with dots. They're like these things, they give all the children shots, and you have to like say when you see dots around you. And some of the children are telepathic, TP, and some of the children are telekinetic, TK. So some of them can read minds and some of them can move stuff. And they're all there, and then eventually they get moved to what they call the back way or something. Like, they're in the front or whatever it is, and then they go to this other bit and they say that's where all the children go, but the people running the place tell the children that they actually get sent home, their memories get wiped, people around them, and the memories of people around them get wiped, so it's as if they were never taken and nothing happened. But Luke is kind of figuring out that that can't be true, because how would you possibly wipe every single person's memory that he knows? He's a bit suspicious. So he's also like, now he's got a computer and he's trying to like search the internet, but he's only allowed on certain websites, and he's just discovered a way to get through their blogs. So that's where I'm at. It's really good so far. I'm really enjoying it. I'm gonna sit down and read some more. There is things happening, and there's a lot going on, and there's like a lot of moments that are just like, but I can't say any of them because of spoilers. There's been some sad moments. Yeah, I don't really know what to say because of spoilers, but just know that I'm like freaking out, and we're now at a chapter called Escape. And also, like, I don't know what this cover means yet, but I'm thinking maybe Luke does escape on a boat or something. That's not a spoiler because I'm just making assumptions from the cover, and that might not even happen. But yeah, we're getting some messages happening between back half now with front half. I think I called it backway yesterday. It's not called backway, it's back half. So the institute split between the front half and the back half. When you first kidnapped, you go to front half, and then eventually you get moved to back half. We don't really know a lot about back half, but we're now entering a moment, a part in the book where someone we know is there, and we're getting some messages coming back and forth. And yeah, and we're learning some things about the back half as well. And Luke has also discovered that they were in fact lying to him about going back home, which I feel like that's not a spoiler. I feel like we could have all worked that out, but he now has like proof of that basically. Yeah, but it's going good. I'm enjoying it. I'm just over halfway, and do you remember when I was talking about that Night Knocker guy Tim from the beginning, and then it switched to Luke, and we've been following Luke for like the rest of the book? I think we're now gonna turn back to following Tim. So I feel like there's gonna be some kind of connection there. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I was a bit confused because we kind of left him in the past and he hasn't been mentioned since, but we're now coming back around to that, and I feel like it's going to be explained why we had this character in the beginning, and it's all going to make sense. Also, I get the cover now. I can't say why, but I get the cover now. I am still reading this book on my Kindle as well, but I've not been doing updates on that because I read that in bed. But that's going well too. Hi. It is the 3rd of March. So, yeah. I don't know how to tell you this, but I have not finished The Institute by Stephen King. Let me put you down somewhere. Okay. I did not finish The Institute by Stephen King. Or my Kindle book, for that matter. But I am nearly finished. And I feel like I'll finish it today or tomorrow for definite. I know I say that a lot, but I'm not even going to say this time I mean it, because I feel like I said that before as well. Believe me if you want to, but if you don't want to, I totally understand. Yeah. So it is the 3rd of March, didn't finish The Institute. Really enjoying it. So I can't say I've had a bad reading month, because what I've been reading has been good. Let me get the do-over. Can you see those? That's my February TBR. Someone's playing music. I didn't touch a single one of these. Honestly. I know I said I was going to get to this because of Valentine's Day, but I didn't. And I could sit here and lie and say we're still in February and just finish The Institute and start this so that you never know, but I'm not going to read this anymore. I know I said I was, but we're in March now and I'm not in the mood to read this anymore, so I'm still kind of feeling a few on my February TBR though, so I'm gonna sort my March TBR out and probably include some of these. I feel like, can you hear the music? Maybe I need to film this later. I read a little bit more, but yeah. Not gonna finish this in February because it is March. Been reading bits of this, been reading bits on my Kindle. I did finish The Last Bear in February, but I think that's the only book I actually finished. But I think March is going to be a better month because I am feeling in a reading mood now because I am enjoying this. I feel like I'm going to finish this. Like, yeah, again, I'm not going to say that I'm going to finish it today or tomorrow. I've enjoyed what I've been reading and I have nearly finished it, so there you go. I am now in the middle of organising a March TBR. I think I started saying this, but I want to like probably include a couple of these on my March TBR that I am in more of a reading mood. Like I'm feeling like I just want to read. So yeah, that's been my March reading. I finished The Last Bear. I think that's it. But I have been reading His and Hers. Is that what it's called? I'm gonna double check because this is like a wrap-up video, so I should probably be able to tell you. Yeah, I have been reading His and Hers by Alice Feeney, and then obviously I've also been reading The Institute by Stephen King. But I did, like I said, I did finish The Last Bear. I'm gonna double check that that's all I read. Yeah, so I finished The Last Bear. Just not been reading massive chunks every day because I've been doing a lot of my crocheting. So that hobby is kind of taken over this hobby. I have too many hobbies because I also played my Switch a lot in January. Yeah, that's my conclusion. I have too many hobbies and they all take over the other hobbies. I feel like January I was very much into my Switch because I got Hogwarts Legacy as a Christmas present to myself in the sales like after Christmas. So during January that was a new game. I was playing Hogwarts Legacy a lot, and then in February I was crocheting a lot because I was trying to make my mum a birthday present, and then so February was the crocheting hobby month, and now we're hitting March and I'm in a really big reading mood, so I feel like March is going to be the reading month. Everyone cross their fingers for me. And not that it matters, not that it matters. If you read one book a year and you love that book, great. Anyway, that has been my that has been my February TBR and what I read from it. Obviously, I just talked a lot for no reason at the start and then didn't read any of the books I talked about. But she was ambitious. Past me was ambitious, and good for her, honestly. She had so much faith in herself, and yeah, good for her, but we did not fulfill it. Sorry, past me. Present me is very sorry. I thought I was gonna fall. Anyway, yeah, so that was my February TBR and what I read from it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry that it's a really late video. Sorry that I've not been very active, but yeah, I have no excuse other than I was just doing like more hobbies. But yeah, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully I will see you soon for March TBR. I hope you all had a good read month. I hope you read some really good books that you're excited about and get to love now. I hope you have some good reads planned out for March, and keep having fun, whatever you're doing. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.